Hi fellas, welcome back. This is an update on the fermentation fridge build. Now if you haven't already seen the video, I'll leave a link in the description box. We built a new fermentation fridge which is slightly bigger so I can now get buckets in, but the response on it has been fantastic. It's been really good, really good. And in the comments I got some questions and people wanted to know a few things, and I thought, well, let's have a closer look at the fridge now it's built. I can run through the comments, run through the questions, and hopefully that'll answer the questions that have been sent. Eves Bristol, he left a comment saying, Ruddy, brilliant work, Tom. I'm working on getting one of these in the new brew garage. Jeff Van der Meer, he said, sweet Tom, I'm not sure what he means by this. Shot for the video, she looks good. Inspirality, he left a comment, said, very nice Tom. Any chance of the make and model of the fridge? All the ones I've looked at have given the volumes in litres and not the internal dimensions. So here I will leave a picture. This is what was on the back of the fridge, so if that helps, I haven't seen it yet because I'm yet to drag the fridge out, but if it helps, there you go buddy. NewToHomeBrew, he left a comment saying, great video, really helpful, just wondering what the results would be without the fans. Cheers Tom. Top job. Right, so the fans in the fridge are there to move air. It's for air recirculation, making sure everything's mixed together, much like if you were to turn on the hot tap and fill the bath and then mix it with cold and you swish it around with your hands to mix it to get a nice warm bath. It's the same sort of thing. I should imagine without the fans you haven't got that movement of air, so the heat's going to always be coming from the bottom of the fridge and the cold is always going to be coming from the back of the fridge, and so if you don't have the fans you're going to just have like warm air mingling with cold and it's not going to be moving around. So the fans sort of mix the two airs together, the warm and the cold, and get everything moving around the fermentation bucket. Steve Molson, he left a simple comment saying, nice one Mr. Tom. Hops to tropics, boys, hops to tropics. Sticky Tentacles, brilliant how-to video. Quickie on the holes through. Do the wires you feed through the holes you drilled block them enough to prevent heat loss, or did you fill any gaps with silicone or something like that after feeding the wires out? So what he's referring to is the wire for the fan, the wire for the heating supply, which is the tubular heater at the bottom, and the wire for the probe. So this hole is tiny, so I haven't filled that one. This one is snug, so I haven't filled that one. The only hole I've filled is the hole for the probe wire. I don't know whether you can see that, it's not very good lighting down there. The hole for the probe wire was slightly bigger than what the wire is because the head of the probe wouldn't go through. So that one I've just dabbed a bit of silicone around it just to seal the hole up. But really the loss of heat through them tiny gaps around the wires isn't going to be a big issue, because obviously that thermostat, that probe, is going to read any loss and just take it up with clicking the heater and the fridge on and off. But if the holes are quite a bit bigger than the wires, then all I would do is just sort of fill around them with some silicone just to stop anything coming out. But I don't think, unless you power through with like a 30mm bit, I don't think it's going to matter too much. 4011 Brew, he left a comment saying, great video Tom, just be careful when crash cooling the fermentation vessel, not touching the back of the fridge could freeze your brew. I don't think it would, bud. Even if you crash chilling at like 1 degrees, that's still a degree above freezing, and you're going to have about 26 litres of beer in the fermentation vessel, so you'd have to be dropping that thing into like a chest freezer at like -10 to freeze it. But if it's an issue you're worried about, then just move it away from the edge of the fridge, the back of the fridge. But really I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. Bumblebee, the loudest bumblebee I've ever heard. The loudest bumblebee you have ever heard. Go on out. You're not welcome in here. No, you can't come in, you're barred. Oh, he's got past me, the bastard. Go on. Good boy. Come, get. Son of a bench. Sandra is coming back. Sandra Allsop left a comment saying, wish I had enough space for a fermentation fridge. One day. This bloody bee's doing my head in. Seagull Island says, well done Tom, excellent video, loving the cutting bench. I left it in the van, my cutting bench, so you just have to make do, right? Rostus29 left a comment saying, nice work, just on the PC fans, when I made mine I noticed that when flushed up against the wall, they hardly blew any air. Moving them about 5 centimeters out gave them a chance to pull air through the fans. I ended up mounting mine using twist wire at the bottom of the shelf. Are your fans getting good airflow? Right, this is where I can probably do a bit more detailed photographization on it, because they're not mounted flush to the side. I'll show you. So if you have another ganders inside, you can see that both the fans are on the side of the wall, but where the screws go through, I've cut some packing pieces of 15mm copper pipe, so the screw goes through there, and when you tighten them up, it's obviously keeping the fan away from the wall, enough to get your fingers behind it, and you can feel the air flowing around in there quite ferociously like. That's the reason why I put the packers on there, so that it could draw air from behind it and kick it out, and that seems to be working quite well. Adam John, he left a comment saying, really good video, thanks. All these little comments that are just saying, thanks for the video, cheers. I really do appreciate them, because it does show that what I'm making, what I'm doing, is being well received. It's what you want to see, and so big thumbs up to them comments. Aid Niblet, he said he lolled at bloody clown car. Then I thought, Paul's not been in your videos for a while, just saying, yeah. The dwarf, man, he's been busy with his tonsils. He's got tonsillitis again. He got rid of it, and then a week later he had it again. But I ain't sure it's tonsillitis. I think it's the extra income he's getting from visiting the sailors in the docks. You know what I mean? Japanophile 1, how do you know Tom means serious business? Pencil behind the ear. No mistaking a man on a mission. No mistaking a man on a mission. For damn sure. And then he put underneath that, handy video my man, will definitely reference it when I'm building. Yeah, you've got to have a pencil behind your ear, because it instantly tells people that you know what you're doing. Beard and Brown Dog Brewing says, awesome video mate, perfect timing for myself, just got the spare fridge in the shed ready to go, cheers. So that's what we do the videos for. We do them so that it gives you an idea of what I would do, and then you go and watch someone else's build and you can see what they would do, and so forth and so forth, and then you can take elements from different people to build a fridge for your needs, and take everyone's ideas, put them together into one fridge for you. That's what it's about. So that's all the comments, that's all the questions. Now we're just going to have a look at the probe and where the probe is sitting, because this is going to cause a bit of a ruckus between you all, but let's have a look at it. So the probe for the STC comes out the control panel, or it's out the bottom there. It comes through the fridge, and I have it sat in a glass or a jar of water. So over a 24-hour period, that water will heat up, cool down, and give a reading back to the STC. I do this because it's simple. It's in there, it's ready to roll anytime I want. I did it on the last fridge, and I had really good temperature controls. Everything fermented cleanly. I had no off flavours or anything like that. It worked a treat. And this is where the debate's going to rage on, and rightly so, because the more accurate way to do it, which a lot of people do, I know Sam the Thrifty Brewer, or Sam Bob in Canada, he has changed up from putting the probe in the water to taping it to the side of the fermentation vessel. The probe is reading the fermentation temperature. So many of you out there will take the probe and they put like kitchen paper or a piece of foam, and then they stick the foam over the probe against the bucket and tape it on, and that way the probe is reading the exact temperature of what the wort's doing. So obviously as the beer is fermenting, it is producing its own heat, so the probe is reading more accurately what's going on in the fermentation vessel, and that way you can pinpoint with accuracy the temperature, what's happening. The way I get around that is I'll probably ferment at I usually ferment about 18 degrees, depending on what I'm doing. But I predominantly use USO5 and I have good results fermenting it at 18 degrees. And so if you set it at 18 degrees and you have a vigorous fermentation and it's notching it up a couple of degrees, then you're still in range for a good, clean fermentation. Like I say, I do it like that because I've always done it like that. Always have had the probe in the jar of water, and it just means when I'm taking the beer out and back in for readings, I haven't got to untake the probe and then try and stick the probe back on. It's just a preference of mine. It's probably not the most accurate way of doing it. It's probably not the correct way of doing it. It's just the way I do it. So that's going to be up to you. But again, I can just see it now. The comments raging back and forth. Probably won't be raging back and forth. They'll just say it's more accurate. But that's exactly what I've just said. Yeah. My goodness. So I think that covers it all. I think that covers everything. I'm just going to sit back now and enjoy some more of this Hops of Tropics. If you haven't seen the final thoughts, final tastings video on that one, go and check it out. It's in the playlist, the Grain to Glass playlist on the channel. Go and find the Hops of Tropics playlist and you'll see it from start to finish if you haven't already, if this is the first video you've come across. But cheers, guys. I took my bloody teeth out then. And that's it. That is it for another video, fellas. So don't forget to thumb this video because it's doing what we do. Don't forget to subscribe. It's a little button down here that says subscribe. Click it, you won't miss out what's coming up next. Share the video, get it out there for all to see. Don't forget to head over to the Facebook page, New to Homebrew. Like it. Leave some comments, questions on there. And as always, fellas, I'm out of here.